Hey, what's up, guys? It's Relationships, Romance, and Propaganda, where we expose the truth, broadcast the lies. It's Imani, Shakur, Rachel K. Burke, film director, author, actress, and we have someone in the hot seat today. This is Gilda. Gilda, tell us who you are real quick. First of all, let me just say this. A best friend of mine, Dan, this is his wife's mom. She's like a second mom to me, but she's dating in the 60s, and that's what today's show is about. She's having a great time. We kind of wanted just to share her experiences, and if you're out there, you're in her age group and you're always curious about it, if you're younger like me, today we're going to put it all out on the table, you know what I mean, and have some fun doing it. So
Absolutely.
tell us a little bit about who you are,
Okay.
Gilda.
I was raised in Southern California. I am 63 years old, actually 63 years young.
Exactly.
I am financially stable. Getting ready to retire in about a year and a half.
That's
awesome. Looking forward to it. And I have a stable job. Been working in the same company for almost 14 years.
Wow.
And just looking for someone to spend the rest of my life with. I lost my husband in April of this year. And,
Who I knew very well.
and, although it was very tragic, I need to move on with my life and really want to spend my life with somebody again. I don't want to be alone. I want to travel with somebody. I want to spend the rest of my life with somebody. I want to share my dreams with. Just everything,
right.
So I don't want to be alone.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let me tell you guys how this came about for me. Whenever I'm out, whether it's at the wineries or at a meeting in Hollywood, whatever it may be, and I see, people that are a little older than me. I'm not that young, but people that are a little older than me, I've always wondered, even when I was younger, like people that are 60 and older, like what are they doing? Are they having sex the same? Like what's going on? Like I've always
That's actually one of the things I just wrote down to ask.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was at their house recently, and she's telling me and some other people these great stories about these dates and stuff. And I said, this would be great to have on the show because I know her. She's a successful woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Great looking lady. I said, she would be great to have on the show to share her experiences. You know what I mean?
I have so many questions.
And I have to say,
ask away.
I have to say, this isn't taking anything away from Gilda at all, but I've seen pictures of her when she was younger.
Yeah.
And all I gotta say is, oh my God. That's all I gotta say. I mean, Gilda still looks unbelievable, but younger, oh my effing God. I'm serious. She's one of those, you saw her, you'd be like, what? Who are you? I see why, her ex-husband, her late husband, Scott, I see why he fell in love with her. I mean, it was obvious. Anyway.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to say, just full disclaimer. I'm curious about this subject, so this is going to be a good show for me today.
Me too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Katie put me onto Match.com.
Oh, okay.
And
I was going to ask you, the first thing I want to ask, how you meet people.
Right.
So when I first moved out to Temecula, I work from home remote. Okay. I've been working remote for the past 14 years. But, when COVID was not around, we were doing events at my job. We were doing, meetings, to interact with people at work, people who maybe I didn't meet yet.
Right.
So things were just a lot different then.
Sure.
So when I moved out here to Temecula and COVID was still pretty outstanding, there really wasn't anywhere for me to meet anybody. I mean, there really was. I don't go to bars. I go to wineries, as you know. Could possibly meet somebody there. But
absolutely, great place to meet.
People tend to stay in their own little groups when they're at those.
Sure.
They're not really kind of moving about too much.
Yeah.
So now there's no events. Now there's no meetings. I met my husband at events.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, a sales meeting. So we worked in the same companies together. Both two times. And so we were great partners. But now there was nothing. So my daughter grabs my phone from me and she says, "I'm going to put you on Match.com."
Match.com.
Something Katie would do.
Yes, absolutely. So immediately started getting hits, on it, and I was looking at it.
How fast? When you say immediately, how fast? Quick?
That the first evening.
Wow.
First evening there was a hit. There was several hits.
I did a trial of it years ago, and it was almost overwhelming.
Seriously.
Because I feel like when you first join too, it's like, ooh, new meat, and it's just all like so many messages you can't even keep up.
Yeah.
Have you done the apps or just Match?
Just the Match. Well, no, I lied. I did I did Elite.com and decided a week later that I didn't want it. That's a weird
Elite. I haven't even heard of that one.
Elite.com is one of them, and I decided I wanted to get my money back from that. There's enough on Match.com. I don't need to go pursue into any other.
So you haven't tried like Bumble or anything?
No,
or Tinder?
no Tinder, no Bubble.
I was so curious, like if older, like if men your age are on there, and if they are they decent, like quality men? Okay.
So Match.com has come up with some decent men, definitely. I have actually been talking to several just didn't match with me. I met one, decided I wasn't going to meet again. Met a few via telephone, via text, and now I have 3.
Okay.
So
when you say you have 3, are you dating all 3, Gilda? What? No, you gotta explain.
Gilda.
You gotta explain. Like
my girl.
Please break that down for us. What does 3 mean?
Okay. So I've got 2 that I've been texting. One I've been talking on the phone to a lot on the phone. I really like this one. The other one just continues to just try to figure out where I'm at on texting. That's pretty much about it. No phone calls.
Okay.
And then the other one I've actually seen in person, and we've gone out on dates.
Okay.
Very nice man, very gentlemanly, very fun to be with. Around, and we haven't gotten hot and heavy. Really,
Right.
It's just very nice. As a matter of fact, he asked me when I need to be home.
Right. Okay.
And he asked Katie when I need to be home.
Right.
Because he's met my family as well.
Right.
So is sex still like at your age? Is sex still a top priority? Like if you're really attracted to someone, or is it more about companionship?
It all
That's a good
depends.
question, right?
Very, very, very good question. It all depends on the situation and what type of person it is. So the one that I really, really want, I'm like really dying to meet, and I'm actually nervous, and I shouldn't be, because I'm 63 years old and I've never had a problem before.
Sure.
Still don't have problems with anything.
Right. I heard that.
So I got some stories to tell you about before these 3.
Cool.
But it's the one that I really want, I'm really nervous about.
Okay.
That's a good sign?
Yeah, it is. And we've talked every single night. We talk every morning. And so I think he is especially very nervous as well.
But just remember, sometimes you meet them and you go,
Yeah, I know.
Because I've had that, like the guys you talk on the phone with, and I'm like, oh my God, I know I'm going to like this guy. And I got there and I was like, nope.
Yep.
Because that can happen sometimes. Like when you see them, the attraction isn't there.
Yep, exactly.
But that's why I asked if sex is important, or, because I'm like, you might like him as a person and then see him, and maybe, if the attraction isn't there, I don't know if you'd still entertain that, or kind of what your goal is.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm actually the kind of person that gives it a chance.
Yeah.
Right.
Because things do grow. My late husband, I wasn't necessarily attracted to Scott. He
Wow.
wasn't.
But was that early or just in the later years?
It was at the beginning. It was the beginning.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but there was just something about him that was really, really neat.
Yeah.
And just really nice to just to give it a chance.
Yeah.
And yes, actually I became starstruck.
Wow.
Okay. After the fact.
After the fact.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting,
I mean literally.
Because how old were you when you met Scott?
I was 45.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures.
And I was dating men who were younger than me at the time, working out at a gym. I've been a fitness instructor for 28 years. I teach cycle now for the last 17. I was meeting people there. I was in cycling groups, and so
Giving me hope. She got married in her 40s.
yes,
Right.
absolutely.
Because, I've never been married. I mean, I'm not 40 yet, but I'm not far off. But I think of that all the time. I'm like, is it going to be weird dating? I feel like I'm going to turn 40 and no one's going to date me ever again. I know it sounds ridiculous.
Oh, no.
But that's how I feel. I feel like
gosh.
people on their age range on apps is going to be like up to 39, and then I'm just going to be off the market.
No, the 40s is where I flourished, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
50,
So good to
yeah,
hear.
50s I liked even more so because I actually knew what I started to really want at
Got
that
it.
That's
time.
what
when I
men have
was
been
married.
telling me about women in their 40s, because I was just with. I also have 3 men.
Woo! Do tell.
2 of them don't live here, but I was just with one for Christmas, and 2 of them are younger, and I was just with one for Christmas, and he is a few years younger. And I said, well, just curious, on your dating profile, what's your max age range? And he goes, oh, my age range is like 25 to like 49. And I said, really? You date women in the 40s? He goes, Rachel, all of my best dates have been with women in their 40s. He said, because they know what they want and they're confident. And then I was with another guy who was just in town, and he's 34. And he said the same thing. He was like, I was just like fell in love with this woman who was 46. He's like, but she didn't want a relationship, and it like broke my heart. And I was like,
Wow.
He's like, I love older women. Like they're smart. They know. And he said the same thing. They know what they want. And I was like, just loving you guys for saying all this right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You become, as you grow and as you know, let me tell you something. There's something about that experience that you flourish.
Yeah.
And you understand what really goes on with yourself.
Sure.
And what your needs are.
Yeah.
And what you don't need.
And
Let's put it
also,
that way.
like, kids play a factor too. I feel like, because I never wanted kids, and in a weird age where I'm having trouble dating because a lot of guys my age want kids, and I historically dated men who had kids already, right? And I did this forever, and it's like I feel like our whole relationship revolved around the kids, and I'm at this point where I'm like, I just want it to be me and my partner, and I want same what you're saying. I want someone to travel with. I want a companion. I don't have to worry about like if you have to take them this weekend, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in a weird age where like a lot of guys want kids, or they've already had them. So I'm like trying to find somebody who either is like me and doesn't want them, which is hard, as most guys do, or that the kids are at least older. Right. So I feel like in a few years I'll be in that range, because like your daughter's older now. Right. So I feel like in a few years I'll be in my 40s, where men in their 40s will have older kids,
Yes.
but it's like a weird transition period.
It is. I mean, there's a lot of thought that goes into trying to figure out what you want. Especially when you're a little bit younger.
Sure.
And maybe you're not as experienced.
Yeah.
In the facts for yourself.
Yeah.
So it's really, really important to grow, and if you do find somebody in your 40s and it matches really well, I mean, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
And you get married and move on with your life. It's
Would you get married again?
Absolutely.
Oh, you would.
I believe it. Yeah, I believe in the in that whole the institution.
Got you.
I believe in sharing. I believe in sharing, of wealth and knowledge and education of both parties of where you've been and what you want and how you want to do things, and pull those assets together, into one. I think that a lot of times, a lot of marriages, a lot of relationships fail when the money issues
sex
are
and
there.
sex and money
Sex
are
and
like
money
the big two.
It's big. It's
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
And people could get really guarded when it comes down to money.
Sure.
And if you understand that that you are not in for the money, with anybody, and that you just want to make sure, this is heading towards the direction of both your lives, not just one, because once you start putting somebody in a place where they're guarded about their money, then you're always trying to figure out what they're doing.
Right. Okay.
And what is happening there.
Yeah, that's why my mom's marriage fell apart, because it was a constant struggle over money.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important. I think marriage is a really important institution.
So for those guys out there that are listening that are in your age group or a little younger who like older women and stuff like that, so if you're out in public, let's say, at the winery or at a grocery store, what would be the correct approach for a guy, say 65, same vibe as you, same tone as you, who you wouldn't mind coming up to you, what would you recommend him? What should his approach be? If you're at the grocery store grabbing some ketchup,
just start a conversation.
Yeah.
Just be that person. Just
Okay.
Be yourself.
Human.
just come up and say, "Hey, is that
Hey.
Heinz yet?"
What kind of wine are you drinking?
I happen to like the mustard right next to it. Just kind of ease in like that, or should it be more direct? Like, hey, you're kind of hot. What's your name? Is it more direct, or is it because you know what I'm saying?
That's pretty flattering as well too, and I would probably acknowledge that approach, and
Either
just
way,
kind of
yeah.
probably giggle, at the beginning,
Yeah.
because that's kind of like the person I am. I just like, wow, okay.
Okay, yeah. but a more southern approach is probably more the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
We at 63 years old, as much as it would be nice to have that same approach as we did as we were younger.
Right,
years.
right.
I
Exactly.
mean, we're not playing around anymore.
Right.
I read profiles every day. I read profiles for work every day. And so when I read profiles of the men that I'm looking at, I can almost guarantee that they are wanting the same exact thing that us females want. When I'm looking at those profiles, they want that relationship. I see that they put in there, if you want a one night stand, don't say hi.
Right.
I've put that.
Who in their 60s wants a one-night stand?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
So I was actually very surprised of one. So
Yeah. Well, because my dad just got remarried. He was with my stepmom for like 20 years, and this is his third wife now, and I feel like he picked her, and he said this like more for companionship, right? Because his first wife was, like the high school sweetheart that they got back together and got married. And then the second wife was like the fireworks, with the sex 10 times a day and all of that, like just crazy, crazy passion. And then I think after 20 years that wore off, and I think he felt like she nagged him a lot, and was kind of putting him down a lot. And so I feel like he picked this woman. I don't think they have much of a sexual connection, though. I think it was more like he just wanted a companion, and was like just someone that was just going to let him be him and not nag him, and you know what I mean? Like, because that passion I think can go the other way too, right?
Yes.
Where it's like you want to have sex all the time and then you want to kill each other. So I think he more picked her out of like companionship. So I wasn't, so I think some people as they get older just maybe want that companionship, maybe not so much the physical piece of it. But then it's like my mom is like crazy sexually attracted to this guy that she's with, and like buying him Viagra and all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, she went a totally different way. So I think people as they get older have different things. Like sometimes they want companionship, but sometimes I think they still want that like young lust,
Yeah, I prefer not to go that lust, because that's not where everything's at.
Right.
It's fun at first.
Yeah, it is fun at first, but that dies.
Right.
As your relationship grows, with my late husband, we didn't have as much sex as we used to. I mean, sometimes it was maybe a while, weeks that would go by,
right?
That nothing occurred.
Yeah.
But we still, kissed each other goodbye, hello.
Right.
We still held hands. We still sat with each other watching TV. Had the same relationship was always
Sure.
there. It was never different.
Right.
So the most important things were there, and the sex was always there, but everything was there. It was just the need for the sex wasn't as
Not as strong. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so is it that it's not as important or not as at the forefront?
It's not as at the forefront.
Right, but it's still there. You still enjoy it and stuff like that.
Oh
but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
It's still
at the
just as
forefront
passionate. Let me tell you, it's still
the
just
way
as
it would
passionate.
be for the young. Right,
oh yeah,
exactly.
It's
That's
still
what I
once
wanted to know,
it starts, it's like okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, is it strange dating because you were with your husband for so long? Like, do you compare men to him?
No.
Okay.
No. I have compartmentalized. Because if I I compare any of anything, any of my experiences with anybody, anywhere, with anything I do, I'm going to compare it to something else. I'm going to put, it's not going to work,
Right.
because
okay.
I'm not going to find what I need,
Right.
the most. So if I compare my husband to anybody else, he's not like anybody else.
Right.
He's my best friend. He was great.
Yeah.
We shared so many happy times together.
Yeah.
And he was my best friend.
Yeah.
But I will never ever compare anybody else to him.
Right.
Yeah.
I will move on and find another best life.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
And maybe even a better life.
Right.
I mean, you can't. You
Right.
can't
Right.
compare.
It'll be different.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You're not going to find what you're looking for.
Right.
Otherwise, no one's the same.
Right.
No one.
Yeah. Well, it's weird. It was weird for me as an adult when my dad got remarried because I was so used to my stepmom since I was a kid, right? And then I have to get used to this new woman who's totally different, because my stepmom was very loud and, fun. And like, she would always organize everything like, okay, you're going to come in on Christmas this day. The room's going to be clean, and now it's so different. Because his new wife is very soft-spoken, like she does not organize anything, and I'm like, okay, I have to get used to this, It's a new person.
She's a different person.
She's not my stepmom, like my old stepmom, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's an adjustment, but it's weird at being a child of that, right? When your parent gets a new partner, so it'll be interesting for your kids, I bet.
It is. I mean, and they're kind of scared,
Yeah.
for me in a way as well. They want to make sure that whoever
Mom is taken care of,
who I'm talking to is on the up and up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not going to be, and no one's going to be taking any advantage of sexual, monetarily wise,
Right,
any
all that
of
kind
that,
of stuff,
which I
right.
will not allow that to happen.
Yeah.
I actually had one that came in from, believe it or not, on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
And, I'm surprised that they're even in there, to tell you honestly, and they're not catching those people. But, I mean, this guy courted me for about 2 weeks straight, and before he started asking me to transfer money for him. For
Oh, my goodness.
way.
Yeah, I mean, it was the best courting online I've ever had.
Oh, that's great.
goodness.
Well, it's like, 'cause my mom dates all guys from Facebook, but it's like people she knows.
Yeah.
Like she'll have them lined up.
That's interesting.
I was like, wow, she's killing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the minute he did that, I blocked him.
You were like,
Yeah.
red flag.
As much as I was disappointed, I blocked him. That was it. That was it.
Good.
No one's taking advantage of me.
Yeah.
No one's,
I have
don't
a quick good question. Like a buddy of mine, Lester, the current girl that he's dating approached him at Wilson Creek one day, and they're dating now. So would you approach someone, say you were at the winery? Would you see a guy that you like, and would you approach, or was that like off limits?
My mother always taught me not to approach and not to call men, and I still do it that way. I still do it that way.
So no matter what, you wouldn't approach. Okay.
And, one of the guy I really like now I'm talking to, he told me, he asked me, he says, you could always call me, and I told him, I thank you for the offer, but I probably won't.
Yeah. I say the same thing. Well, because I'll introduce myself and have a conversation with anybody, but I will never pursue a man.
Yeah.
Like you have to ask me out, you have to call me, you got to make the dates.
Yes.
Once we're in a relationship, great. I'll call you then.
Yeah.
But
Once I'm secure,
yes.
then I'm not
Yes.
pestering. I don't want to pester anybody at work. What if I call this guy and and he's in the middle of something,
That used to happen. That actually happened to me when I was in a relationship because my ex would call me every day. And then at one point he said, "Why don't you ever call me?" So I call him one day and he's like, "Hi, I'm at work. What do you want?" You know what I mean? And I'm like,
Exactly.
It's like, oh, how bad does that make you feel, right?
I'm like, see, this is why I don't call you. You call me when you're free. That's how this works. I know, but I stand by it because, because for men, it's like that phase is actually exciting when they have. You know what I mean? I think you'll agree when you have to pursue a woman, because you want to win her over and you want to court her. Like that's fun for you. Men like things that are difficult.
We do. Yeah.
So
it's true.
Why is that?
Let them
men
hunt.
like difficult
I
things?
think it's in our nature. We just kind of like the
fix
challenge.
cars
I always say I work better under pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, Yvonne always jokes about how, well, she not jokes, but she always says how when she's at the gym everyone is afraid to come up to her. She has like this vibe and aura that no one is going to approach her. And they usually don't because they're really intimidated. And I always joke and say, if I shoot you, I would have came right up to you. I work better under pressure. I would have loved for you to tell me no. And she always laughs and like, whatever. I said, oh yeah, I would have definitely came up to you at the gym. And hoped you told me no. So I could work even harder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Next time we see you,
I guess it's just in our nature.
It's because you're confident. Because I feel like I give off that vibe too. Because I really do like being left alone.
Yeah.
You know, and then the only guys that will approach me are the ones who are like very, very confident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we like a challenge. We like a great looking lady.
Right.
And we like it to be tough to like get her.
Because then you know you're not just saying, because then you feel special and you know she's not just saying yes to every guy that approaches her, you know?
Exactly.
You want to feel special.
Right,
Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
I think.
You know, and I don't text until I'm being texted at. You know,
Same.
because I just don't want to, you know, I was raised the way I was raised, and I believe the way my mother
I agree with
always
that.
told me to do it, and I've been successful in all my relationships. Most of my relationships, I would say all, have been long-term relationships. I've never dated. Okay.
That's awesome.
All of them, they were, the one before Scott was 12 years. Scott was 18. Before that was when I was married to Katie's mom.
Okay.
I met him when I was
Katie's dad,
16 years old. So, so these are long-term relationships that I've had.
Chivalry is not dead.
No.
Yeah,
well, but the problem is, I feel like society has got a little skewed, where the younger girls, like the younger generation, like they're pursuing these guys and sending sexy photos.
The wrong way. I think it's the wrong way. I really do.
I agree.
It's actually really shocking out there for me.
Yeah. But I even have friends, I have friends that do this. She'll be like, oh, I text him on Monday to see what his week looks like and when he can get together. I'm like, why are you texting him? And since I've been friends with this girl, it's been 10 years. She's never had a relationship. And I'm like, it's because you chase them. You know, you chase them. Anything you chase, they're going to run away. I'm like, stop texting them to make the plans. If they like you, they will text you and make the plans.
Right.
Absolutely. You got to let them be the man.
Yep. That's that. You know what? That's it. You got let a man be a man.
Yes. I know. Yeah.
So tell us some of these crazy sex stories. You know what I mean?
Here we go. I'm ready.
Okay.
I want to know, like, give us some tidbits for these people out here. For everybody who thinks women 60 and over are not having as much fun. Please enlighten our
I got
audience.
a good one too after you from my mom, but
awesome.
you go.
So I did find somebody who I thought was great. Had a great retired. He was retired.
Okay.
Yeah, and I thought, wow, okay, real excited. Didn't live very far from me.
Yeah.
Here in Temecula, so go out to dinner. Everything is great, and automatically he's all hands.
All hands, meaning he was handsy?
Even at the restaurant. I mean, we're talking about it's like, okay, all right, I'm not used to this, and we had some good music going on in the restaurant. And he would kiss me, and during the really pretty music, it's like, okay, with the eyes.
Is this the first date?
This was one of them.
What?
Yeah, it was the first. Actually, it was the first date.
Yeah.
And so I was, I went over to his house, and against my own best judgment, I did spend the night. Okay.
So why would you say against your own best judgment?
Okay. So
what's wrong with spending the night? I mean,
well, what did we just do an episode on?
I know that's true.
That's true. I would not really want, because you want to be chased. I mean, we just kind of had a conversation about that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not so much that we want to be chased. It's just that it's, let's just leave ear to some imagination, right? Okay, so
you liked him?
I liked him.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the second date, go to his house. Okay. And there is a massage table out. I'm like, oh, okay.
Massage table was out, but he had it just set up.
Yep. Yep.
Oh wow!
Does he own this said table?
Yeah, he owns the set table.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is his second date move.
Okay.
Right.
So he says, "Who's your daddy?" And I'm like, daddy. daddy. Okay. And
A lot of guys have daddy fetishes.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's my daddy? My dad's dad.
Yeah.
Did you say
Not
that?
anymore.
Oh, okay.
Not anymore.
I'm like, if you said that, I'm gonna
Got a
die.
new daddy.
And then there was some kind of crazy, I don't know, feeling that he was putting his hands around my neck, and
yeah,
it was like kind of weird there. And then and he goes, don't worry. He goes, I'll never hurt you. Blah blah blah.
Did he give you a safe word?
No safe word.
Oh, okay.
There was no safe word.
No.
You know, but I told
Mistake
him I
number
was
one.
not very comfortable. I already told him that.
Yeah.
You know, and so he was a service-oriented person and said, don't worry, I'm 911, so you're okay with me, and like I would be able to be revived.
How old is this guy?
He's the same age I am.
Okay. Wow.
She's going downhill really fast.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh no.
So then he said he goes, are you my naughty little girl?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I had my hair in a barrette, okay, and my hair back, so I was like, should I put on some kind of little schoolgirl?
Right.
No, and at that just, and he kept asking me to call him, his daddy,
Yeah.
and who's my naughty little girl, and throughout
Right.
the whole thing, and I just no,
Yeah.
and then the next day, I would get a text, and he would say, "Tonight, please."
It's daddy.
Yeah. Tonight, please.
That's all he would say.
Yeah.
No sort of romance.
No, tonight, please.
Tonight, please. Be there.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
In your little girl outfit.
You know what's so funny you say that because I just experienced that this year, the same exact thing. But the guy told me ahead of time. So I took a BDSM test online to remember we did an
and
episode
I did
on it,
it.
right?
Yeah, we did an episode
We did an
on
episode on people's fetishes and like the whole S&M thing. And I got my kink was that I like to be the little girl, and I didn't know this. And I was like, oh, it said I pair well with daddies, and I went, oh, okay. I never knew this about myself. So I match with a guy who's into all the things, and I tell him, and he goes, oh yeah, we'll get along. Same thing. Every time every time he came over, he had to be daddy. Same thing. Who's daddy's little girl? I actually was kind of into it for a while though.
Right.
But the thing is, we talked about it beforehand, right? It gave me a safe word and was like, we kind of talked about it before we did it, and it was just a casual thing anyway. He wasn't somebody I was looking to be in a relationship with. So I feel like before he comes out with all of that, he should have talked about that with you, like, hey, I have this kink.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah.
He just threw it on you.
Yes, he did. And I kept telling him over and over and over again that I haven't done this in a really long time.
Right.
I am actually a very shy person.
Okay.
Which I am.
Yeah.
Which I am. And there is that shyness there that says, okay, take control.
Sure.
But wow, not like that.
And also, are
right.
you comfortable being choked?
And
Because I have been, and I don't like it. Some women like it, and
Yeah.
so I have to tell guys no, I'm not into that.
No.
I don't want you to do that. But that's something you ask before you do it.
Well,
he
yeah.
just did it. He doesn't know what he's doing.
No, and there could be an abuse factor in the past that
Could be.
involving
Sure.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know, and he should have asked.
No. And he's 911. You're like, great. Who do I call then?
Right. Exactly.
Oh no.
That's funny.
So,
Oh my God. So when my mom,
I was disappointed though because I really
Yeah.
did like him as a person.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really did like the person, but the other antics,
No.
I just no. I need that love, and I did
Right.
not feel that.
well,
at
the
all.
problem is underneath that is obviously a very tormented person. There's issues there that,
Right.
you liked him at first, but I feel like as you got to know him, you probably would have discovered he was a little emotionally unstable.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened with my guy that had all the kinks. At first I was really into him, right? And the sex was hot and everything, but as I got to know him, I was like, I think he's insane. He just was crazy. I would watch, he would rewrite his Bumble profile every single day.
Wow.
Every day. Sometimes multiple times a day. He would rewrite stuff, delete it, every day.
Really?
Wow.
And then I noticed he would do it with his social media stuff. He would take it on private, off every day. And I was like, oh, I think he's unstable.
Yeah.
So I guarantee, like, because, underneath some of that stuff, some people are normal people and they have kinks, but
Right.
I think most of them got some stuff going
Yeah, but and normal people who have kinks, you find those kind of things out when during a normal relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not always so blatant out there.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, yeah. But no, like when my mom first got divorced, one of like the funniest dating story. She's gonna kill me for telling this, but she doesn't watch this. So, Mom, if you're watching this, shut it off. She was dating this guy that she was really into, and he said she was going to get a hotel room or something, and he asked her to buy a strap-on. So she goes, my mother is not like a kinky person at all. And she was like, I didn't know what to get. So I just got a small one. And he shows up and he goes, oh, you got a small one. And she's like, I don't know. Like, was I supposed to get a big one? I don't know what you're going to do with it. And he goes, yeah, I wanted a big one. She goes back to the store, buys it. She's buying this, by the way.
Right.
Buys the big one, goes back there. He made her wear it so he could go down on it. And
Are you serious?
Oh my God.
I said, what did you do? And she goes, I just sat there. Like,
Oh
what
my
do I do?
God. I've never heard that before.
No, I haven't either. That is actually shocking.
I was like, are you sure he's straight?
Yeah.
It's questionable.
Yeah, that
swinging
was
type or
very
something.
questionable.
That's weird.
Something. So, I don't
never
know.
heard that
All
before.
sorts of things are wrong. But like she would tell me these stories too, and I was like, oh my God, you're still dealing with this in your 50s and 60s. Like, it's just so crazy, like a zoo.
It is, and you got to be really careful out there.
Right.
Of almost everything, and all the signs and signals, are out there, for you to just kind of watch for.
And you probably forget because you haven't dated in so long.
No, no, I haven't dated in a long time.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, I haven't dated like this, really, period.
Yeah.
Right. So it's all new for you.
Yeah.
I know. So why don't you date younger guys? You mentioned that you don't go younger.
Because I don't want to die. I don't want to die before them. I don't want them to change my diapers for me.
Not what I thought you were going to say.
No.
That's hilarious.
I thought you were going to say because you felt like you had to look younger or something, or like to leave you for a younger woman.
No.
Okay.
I don't,
Because a lot of guys are into that.
There are, and
Yeah.
I've had younger guys in their 50s reach out to me.
Yeah. And you don't want guys with a mommy fetish either.
No, and some of them, when I read their profiles, they do they do have a good career, they do have a degree, and a lot of those things are really important to me because of the fact of what I'm looking for is not somebody who I need to. I don't want to live in an apartment anymore, and I don't want to pay mortgage anymore. I'm not paying mortgage now, and I don't want to take care of anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
I want somebody who we take care of each other,
Right.
and we have finances together.
Right.
And I want to be able to go, like I said, travel and go away.
Yeah.
So meeting somebody in their 50s, there's possibilities to all of that, but the problem is the fact that I don't want to die before they do. That's kind of like, I may die anyway before them. It'll happen, but not when that person's 60 and I'm 70.
Right.
Women always live longer, though, they say.
Right. That's so interesting. Right.
Or 80, I'm going to look completely different probably when I'm 80, and that person's going to be looking like they're 60 or still okay.
Yeah,
because it's going to be okay.
I know, because I told her my mom's dating a guy who's like 10 years younger, and it's like driving me crazy because she's constantly trying to look. She's spending all her money on like trying to look younger, and she's starting to get like Botox and fillers, and like we share an Amazon Prime account, and I'm like, I went into like my purchase stuff one day because I wanted to reorder something, and I saw all the things she was buying, and I was like, oh dear God, like
You're
the
like,
push-up
what the
bras,
what?
the TikTok leggings that make your
my
butt
God.
look big.
Oh my God.
I was like, Mom, that's for teenage girls. Like, that's not for you. What are you doing? And the sad thing is, this guy probably doesn't care what she looks like. You know what I mean? Like, she still looks great, but she feels like she has to do all of this because he's
Just
younger.
in case.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
to like
Concerned about
keep
it.
up, you know.
Yeah,
Oh,
and there's, I want somebody who likes me for me.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't want to deal with all that stuff.
Yeah.
With or without makeup,
Yeah.
without having to deal with an augmentation of some sort on my body,
Right.
Right.
If they don't like me right now, well, you know what? Sorry.
I know. I have a little bit of a complex. Like on my birthday a couple months ago, this guy took me to a concert, and he's 32, and he's got like an 8-pack abs. Like I don't have any of that. And he's a personal trainer. And I mean, he's so cute, but he looks young too. And I like sent a picture of us to my friend because she was like, "What are you doing for your birthday?" And I was like, "God, I look way older than him in this." Like, I can't go out with him again.
That's so funny. That's
It's
hilarious.
all fun, but you know what? It's not is it real?
I know. It's fun, but I don't think I want to go out in public with him.
Yeah. And all the questions that people look at, like, wow, you know.
Yeah, I'm feeling like a cougar.
Cougar.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
Oh my God. All right. Well, we still got kinky weirdos in our 60s.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
exactly.
They're all out there.
Looking
Trust
forward
me.
to it.
Trust me.
As long as I'm
You
still
know.
having sex in my
Oh.
60s, I don't care.
Yeah,
Right.
and some of the comments that I've had, just when they say hello, they've asked me if my hair, my red hair, is all the way through, all the way through.
Oh, like the
It's like-
drapes or whatever.
It's like, what is that to say on a text?
Right.
Am I
Oh,
going to say hi to you?
Block.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, do you want to have a drink later?
Right.
Well, why don't we just talk first? It's
Yeah. So even in that age group, they just go right in for it like
yes.
that.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Gross.
Interesting.
Well, it's so interesting because, like when you're younger, you always think like, and I've seen memes about this, like somebody wrote, like, when I'm 70, am I going to be legit attracted to someone else who's 70? Like, that's a concern of mine.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because I'm like, you must find men in their 60s still attractive.
Yes.
So it's funny, like the older you get, you still see people your same
Right.
age as
It's
attractive.
relatively
Yeah,
speaking,
and those
you know?
pictures on
Relative.
Match are really bad.
Terrible.
Oh,
Also, men don't know how to take pictures.
No,
of
they don't.
themselves
Oh my
either.
gosh, Men, seriously.
Yeah, guys, take the sunglasses
Yeah,
off. I
have
always
somebody else
say
take
it.
the picture up for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You know what's
A
crazy?
woman.
You know what's crazy about you guys saying that? A lady friend of mine showed me her Bumble profile this is way before COVID. And when I saw the pictures those guys were taking, I said, "Oh, I'm way off. These dudes are looking like models on there." I'm like, "Who's helping them take these pictures?" I swear, in the younger age group, I was like, "Who's helping these guys take these photos?"
Oh no, my age group, they have sunglasses in every photo.
I
You
was like,
can't
oh
tell
my
what they look
God.
like. It's like them
Yeah.
surfing, you know what I mean? They're this big. I'm like, what do you look like? I don't want to see a picture of you surfing. Like,
Right,
what do you?
right,
What does your
right,
face look
yeah.
like? What does your body look like?
Yeah, exactly. What's nice about Match is that at the beginning profile, it'll say how old they are,
Yeah.
how tall they are, if
Mm-hmm.
their average weight, built, whatever that is, what their background is,
Okay.
do they have a degree or not, so that's really kind of upfront there, if that's not there for me, I just kind of
Yeah, if they don't put in the effort.
no, and if there's no picture, and be surprised, sometimes there are no pictures. I have
serious?
gotten guys saying hi to me, and I'll look up their profile, and there's no picture. None.
How do
So
you
they're
No
probably
pictures.
because they're probably married and they're trying to hide it.
Yeah,
Usually
trying to
that's
hide
what it
it.
is. Or they're
Yeah.
a catfish, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're trying to get
Yep.
some naked photos.
Trying to
They
hide
don't
for
want to show you
sure.
what they look like. Yeah, that's
Exactly. And there's no
usually one of the
profile.
two.
No profile. I have, there's nothing for me to read about them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What they're looking for, and what realistic, what kind of dates they want.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Are they? A lot of them put down that they're financially stable, which is very interesting. And it's actually very, very important for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want my stability to mesh with theirs.
Right, right.
So that's important for me to even read. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's not so much the more the merrier on the information, on that person.
What's the effort? It shows you who they are going to
Yes,
be as a partner.
absolutely.
Yeah,
If they're
that's true.
putting in no
It's
effort on their
relative.
profile, they're not taking it seriously.
No, they're not.
Exactly.
If they're not taking good pictures, you're not
Yep.
taking it seriously.
Yep.
Shows
Like, I
who
want to
they're
know what
gonna
you
be.
look like, what you're looking for.
Yep.
I mean, and then once they put that effort in, that shows you how they're going to treat you in a relationship. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean? Like,
That's
if you're
right.
going to put in the effort for your profile, you're going to put in effort in a relationship.
Yes.
Yep, that's
you know, if you're putting no words and just a
Right.
couple of shitty pictures, then
Yeah.
you're going to be a
Yeah.
shitty boyfriend.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So I like to read. I like to read what they want to do. And what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And so that's really, really important. And then I'll press the button.
Right. So with these three you're looking at now, when are you going to decide which one you're gonna. Are you still like vetting them or something, or how does that process
much.
go? Okay.
Yeah,
She's got the one she likes, though.
Right.
We got to see if she likes him in person.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Oh, you haven't met him in person
I haven't
yet?
met him in person. We talk every
Okay.
night, over the phone.
So when is that? When are you
he
gonna
was
do the meet
vetting
and
me
greet?
just as much. Let me tell
Right.
you. I mean, it's been like 3 weeks already.
Okay.
So, and a lot of questions.
Do you know when you're going to meet him?
Hopefully next week.
Okay, good.
So I will tell you, my sister met her husband on Match in the same exact way. She said by the time they met, she said we had already built a foundation because they went from like emailing to texting to phone calls. And she said by the time I met him, I felt like I already knew him because they knew everything about each other.
Yeah.
And they ended up getting married. So
That's awesome.
I think it's good.
Yeah. I mean,
because we have shows that we've done in the past where we tell our audience to, when you're on dating apps, well, that's dating apps, just to meet as soon as possible. Use it as a way to connect and then meet as soon as possible.
Well,
yes.
Not saying the other way doesn't work either.
Because, that's the problem, too. It can go two ways where you could spend all this time, and then if you see each other, you could not be attracted to him and be like, oh, I wasted
the chemistry may
3
not be
weeks
there.
building this guy up
Yeah.
in my head, and then I don't even like him.
Yeah.
But, and then it can also work the other way where... my sister ended up marrying the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Could.
He vetted me just as what colors do you like? Tell me 4 things about you.
Okay.
It was tit for tat over the phone.
Yeah.
That's good.
So on everything. Where do you want to go? What is your what's on your bucket list? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Retirement.
That's good. That shows you he's a serious guy and he actually wants a relationship. Because I remember like when I started dating my ex, he had asked me things no one had ever asked me before, like just serious questions like, do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? Where did you see yourself getting married? And I was like, I have no idea. Like, I've never actually thought about that, and I was like, all right, this is a serious guy who like wants a commitment, and it was impressive.
Yeah, what's really, really interesting is that I'm actually really serious about this guy.
Yeah.
And he's very serious about me.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear what happens after you guys meet.
I know.
It's really interesting. I mean, and I agonize just thinking about him that I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah.
And it's just making me want it more.
Of course. The tension is building.
That's so funny.
It is. It's like, I've actually asked people. I think I even asked Yvonne. I said, this is a crazy question. I said, can you fall in love without actually meeting somebody in person?
What did Yvonne say?
I think you can. So.
Let's see. I'm waiting to hear. It won't be on the show, but I'll tell our audience.
Yeah, and I get stuff emails that are love letters every day from him.
Wow, this guy's putting in the work.
But also,
all you older guys that take note.
That type of stuff could actually make you more attracted to him when you see him, right? Because I think about. I've had times where I've talked to guys and then I meet them and I'm like, like small body, not, you know what I mean? Like just like too petite for me. Or one of them was 6'8" and I was like, giant, big bird, like, not doing that.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like. I was just like, I don't know. I just like wasn't into him. He was like too big, too small. But, then, if I had maybe built that up over weeks where I got to know them, maybe that attraction would have been there because I knew them more as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
There you go. You have any more questions, Rachel? Should we wrap it up?
I think we're good.
All mine are checked
we
off.
covered a lot.
Yeah, we did.
Guys, there's hope for us yet.
I hope I helped everybody.
Oh, I'm sure you did. I think this show will be very insightful.
If somebody has a massage table on the second date, run.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Run.
Don't say hi.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Anyway, guys, definitely want to thank Gilda for checking in. We call her Gigi here in Wine Country. I've known her for years. It was a pleasure having you on.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for sharing all your stories.
Of course.
It was awesome. It's Imani, Shakur, Rachel K. Burke. Don't forget to subscribe on ICT Group Digital, and thank you for listening where you get your podcast. We will see you guys next week. And we're out. That's Dating After 60.